Look around you, on your social media feeds, in the hallways at work, even within your own family. The world is awash with smiles. People are posing for pictures, sharing stories of their latest successes, and projecting an image of unshakable joy. It's a constant, dazzling display of happiness, and sometimes it can feel exhausting. But have you ever wondered what's really going on behind that perfect smile? What if the very act of pretending to be happy is a sign of a deeper, more complicated struggle? This isn't about calling out anyone for being insincere. This is about understanding a fundamental human experience. Why so many of us feel compelled to pretend we're happier than we really are. We are, in many ways, living in the age of the performance. Social media has become our main stage, and we are all actors, meticulously curating our highlight reels. We post photos of our perfect vacations, our gourmet meals, our flawless relationships. But what we don't post are the arguments, the moments of self-doubt, the quiet nights spent feeling lonely. This isn't just about social media, though. It's a behavior that has seeped into the fabric of our daily lives. Think about how many times you've responded to "How are you?" with a quick, reflexive, "I'm good," even when you feel anything but. This simple, seemingly harmless lie is a symptom of a much larger phenomenon. We're taught, both implicitly and explicitly, that being anything other than happy is a weakness. We fear being a burden, of bringing down the mood, or being seen as ungrateful for what we have. One of the most powerful drivers behind this facade is the immense pressure to conform. We are social creatures, and we crave belonging. We look to our peers, our role models, and society at large to understand what is expected of us. In a culture that values optimism and resilience above all else, expressing sadness or vulnerability can feel like a direct violation of the unwritten social contract. This pressure is particularly intense in the workplace. Many companies foster a positive attitude-only environment, where showing stress or anxiety is seen as a sign of low performance. This can lead to a pervasive culture of emotional suppression, where employees feel they have to put on a brave face, even when they are on the verge of burnout. It's a dangerous game, because it prevents us from seeking the help we need and building genuine, supportive connections with our colleagues. The fear of being judged is another major factor. We are terrified of what others might think of us if they knew the truth. We worry that they'll see our struggles as a sign of failure, that they'll think we're weak or that we're just complaining. This fear can be so crippling that we would rather suffer in silence than risk being seen as less than perfect. Consider the pressure on new parents, for example. The expectation is that they should be radiantly happy, filled with a new, profound love. But the reality is often filled with exhaustion, anxiety, and moments of doubt. The societal pressure to appear as the perfect, blissful parent is immense, and it often prevents people from talking about the very real challenges of parenthood, which in turn isolates them further. They pretend to be happy for fear of being judged as a bad parent, when in reality, their struggles are completely normal. Another significant driver is the concept of a personal brand. In the modern world, we are constantly encouraged to market ourselves, to be the CEO of our own lives. This means creating a carefully curated image of success, confidence, and happiness. We see our lives as a product to be sold, and we believe that any hint of struggle or sadness will devalue that product. This is particularly prevalent in the lives of public figures and influencers, who feel a constant need to uphold their pristine image. But it's not limited to them. We all engage in this to some degree, presenting a polished version of ourselves in job interviews, on dates, and in everyday interactions. We believe that our happiness is a direct reflection of our success, and so, we feel compelled to feign it, even when we are quietly struggling. But what happens when we consistently suppress our true emotions? The long-term effects can be incredibly damaging. When we pretend to be happy, we deny ourselves the opportunity to process our true feelings. Emotions are a form of communication, a way for our bodies to signal what we need. When we ignore them, they don't just disappear. They can manifest in physical ways, like headaches or stomach issues, or they can lead to more serious mental health problems, like anxiety and depression. It's a bit like putting a lid on a pot of boiling water. The pressure will continue to build, and eventually, it will explode, or the lid will crack. Pretending to be happy also isolates us. It creates a wall between us and the people we care about. When we don't share our struggles, we prevent others from truly knowing us, and we deny them the chance to offer their support. This can lead to profound loneliness, even when we are surrounded by people. So, how do we break this cycle? The first step is to practice radical honesty with ourselves. This isn't about wallowing in negativity or being pessimistic. It's about acknowledging our true feelings without judgment. It's about giving ourselves permission to feel sad, angry, or disappointed without feeling like a failure. The next step is to challenge our own assumptions about what others expect of us. Most people are more empathetic and understanding than we give them credit for. Sharing our vulnerability can be a powerful act of connection. It shows others that it's okay to not be okay, and it can encourage them to open up as well. It's an act of courage that can lead to deeper, more meaningful relationships. If you're finding this video helpful and want to see more content that dives into the real, messy, and complicated parts of being human, please take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We're building a community here where it's safe to be honest, and your support helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. Have you ever felt the pressure to pretend you're happy? What are some ways you've found to be more authentic? Your stories could really help someone else who's going through something similar. Another crucial strategy is to create a more compassionate inner monologue. We are often our own harshest critics. We tell ourselves that we should be happier, that we have no right to complain, that others have it worse. This internal pressure is a major reason why we feel compelled to put on a show. By practicing self-compassion, we can learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a friend. Instead of saying, "I should be happy," we can say, "It's okay to feel this way. My feelings are valid." Finally, we need to redefine what true strength and happiness look like. True strength isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up and allowing ourselves to be human in the process. True happiness isn't a constant state of euphoria. It's a complex, nuanced emotion that includes moments of sadness, struggle, and peace. It's about finding joy in the small things, even when the big things are difficult. It's about having a sense of purpose and genuine connections with others. When we stop chasing the illusion of perfection, we open ourselves up to the possibility of real, authentic joy. We create space for genuine connection and allow ourselves to be truly seen. The most courageous thing we can do in a world that demands a perfect smile is to admit that sometimes we are not okay, and that's perfectly all right. I hope this video has given you a different perspective on the smiling faces you see every day, and perhaps on the face you see in the mirror. It's a powerful and often painful phenomenon, but by understanding why we do it, we can begin to create a world where authenticity is valued more than appearance. If this message resonated with you, please consider sharing this video with someone you know who might need to hear it. It could make a world of difference. Thank you for watching.